30 days of feeling, day number 17. How do I feel about my childhood dreams? I feel my childhood dreams. I was in bed the other morning, and I was just like, this would be a good video. I had this flashback to this video game I used to play when I was a kid called SOCOM US Navy SEALs. Some of you might know it. It's on PlayStation. This is a really hard game. Really uses like stealth and etc. It was really, really fun, and I remember the game also had like a little documentary, like a 30-minute documentary that the teams put together for for kids to get them interested. Honestly, I remember being very interested in that. And as I sit into it today and really feel into my life, but also just like my childhood dreams, who I am, what I'm doing today. I'm just coming off of last night having a bunch of the local South Florida guys that are a part of my men's group, or my clients, or guys coming on the retreats that I host. We had a bunch of them together for a night of like connection and fun. We played volleyball for a while. We talked for a while. We connected for a while. We listened to each other. And it was just a really empowering and beautiful place to be. And so I'm feeling in this moment incredible gratitude for the life that I get to live, for the incredible breeze that's outside today, the sun that's beaming in on me, but also for the work that I chose to do and the dreams that I chose to follow. When I think back to, and for all of you, you can start with, how do I feel about my childhood dreams and where they've led me? Or how do I feel about my childhood dreams not being fulfilled, but experiencing what I'm experiencing today? Something about something about reconnecting with that younger part of yourself that had a larger vision, and reconnecting that to create a new vision of where you want to go. That's kind of the thesis of this. And as I sit with it, for me, when I look back to my larger vision when I was younger, that was definitely something that I saw for myself. I always felt like very military focused. Focus is the word, but like, I don't know, just like a preconditioning to like the warrior and being interested in those types of things. And I remember that video, watching it like so many times, and I just was like, man, this is so cool. These guys are pushing themselves to the limits. Like, they're leaders, they're like tough, they're warriors, or this, they're that. I just remember that, and I remember being like super inspired by them. And as I sit here today, I feel like I'm a different kind of warrior. My battle has been mostly internal, and I've had a lot of opportunity to connect with people in the external and help them fight their inner battles, inner wars, and whatnot. But I feel like the word peace is much closer to describe me. When I sit with it in this moment, I feel like not only could I not have dreamt the life that I'm living, I'm doing what I wanted to do, but the context of it is different. And I think that that's the biggest shift, is just reconnecting to the awareness that the same larger vision that I had when I was younger of being the best thing I had, being somebody, being a leader, being somebody that is contributing to the world, being somebody that's helping and making the world a better place. I'm doing that, but it's a different context. It's not by, training with the most advanced weaponry and going into other countries and taking out, quote, bad guys or whatever it is. It's connecting with good people and helping them reconnect to their heart, reconnecting to their child self, reconnecting to earth, reconnecting to the universe, reconnecting to God, reconnecting to themselves. And I feel like that's the most good I could ever do for the world, is planting those trees and nurturing them. And I feel like that's my life, and that's what I get to do every day. And so when I sit here and I see myself as a child, and I feel the presence of that in my heart, I just have a really calming sense of peace and gratitude for choosing to follow the voice of God in my life and follow the path that was super mysterious and very different and unique and confusing, but knowing that that was the right space for me. And I think that it's really easy for me to want to look at my life and the different dreams that I had or places I thought I'd be, and see like I failed, where I'm not where I thought I was going to be, and that's not a good thing. But I've the more that I've discovered myself and uncovered what I think life is about, the more I realize that it's way less about the original image that I see and way more about embracing the experience. And by the time that I have gotten closer to the place that I'm at, I'm realizing more and more every moment that's what I originally wanted anyway. And so I feel like there's this deeper lesson here of when I ask the universe for what when I tell the universe I want to have a huge contribution or I want to be this type of person, I can't be upset when the universe provides me a path that is roundabout or that is different vehicles than what I thought it would be. I think this is a challenging experience for myself, but also for others to follow the path before them with a vehicle not of their choosing all the way and trust that it's going to take them where they want to go. I know for me, I never dreamt that fitness coaching would turn into life coaching, men's retreats, and men's coaching. Me being on stage, speaking to people, helping them work through their inner blocks, helping them release suppressed emotions, helping them reprogram their brains, helping them connect to their soul and God. Like, I never would have guessed that, but I also never would have. I never would have understood the power that would come with that and the person that I needed to be and develop into. And so when I think about, just relating back to my child self and just seeing the vision that I had and the different things I was interested in, I'm not surprised I'm in this place and this is the best place for me. And it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. And I want to use this moment as just a moment to encourage any of you who aren't in the place you want to be or aren't in the place you dreamt of being. That's okay too. But the question is, what are you going to do from here? The question is, what am I going to do from here? What am I going to do from this place of gratitude and joy? And I don't need to really do extra things. I can coast. I can do whatever I want at this point. I feel like I have my life in front of me. I know where I'm going. I know who I am. I know what I do. I can bring value to the marketplace. I can replicate the process. The question is, am I willing to continue to push the envelope? Am I willing to continue to develop, and not only develop, but share the gifts that I've uncovered and share them in a way that continues to feel authentic and aligned, and most importantly, envisioned, destined. Oof, that feels good. It feels good to know that I'm in a place where I'm willing to do that, and it feels really great to that little kid in me that I can see who's like, nervous, unsure, wondering. I feel like for me, I did not have a lot of really strong, gram reinforcement when I was younger. Like, I got a lot of reinforcement, but not like gram your character, who you are, these traits, these things, like more of this. Didn't really get that, like, words. And I feel like I've learned over my life, I'm a words of affirmation are extremely important to me, which makes sense because I did not get them. So I always feel like the what is it called? The love language that you are is mostly the one you didn't get. I think that we're all pretty wired for all of them. We like all of them, but I think some of the ones we don't get when we're younger, we really appreciate now. So for me, the words of affirmation are key. And I didn't get those, and I've been getting them more than I ever have in my life in the last few years. How much I've helped people, how appreciative they are of me, how powerful I am, how incredible my presence is, how useful my ideas are, whatever it is. And as I just kind of like let this all marinate, I think that it just feels really raw and good. Just feels really raw and good to know that I know that I'm on the right path, to know that other people believe that the way that I'm going is right, and to feel that original vision, the fulfillment of that vision, and the willingness to expand it are all in alignment. That feels great. And even just making these videos, like, it's so much less about what I'm saying and so much more about just the process of just sitting here and communicating with myself in new ways. And that's what I've been trying to teach and share in this 30-day experience since day one. It's just not really even about, it's not even about what I've said so far or about the prompt. It's about you sitting and coming up with your own. It's about you sitting and feeling into yourself, you understanding yourself, you going deeper with with yourself, you learning about yourself. I'm practicing right now. I'm practicing seeing myself more clearly. I'm practicing better understanding my position. I'm practicing better evaluating who I am. I'm practicing understanding the smaller part of myself, the younger part of myself, the vision that I had, and how it's correlated, how it's now manifest in reality in a more incredible way than I could have ever imagined. And I just feel like that's the lesson that I just want to continue to embody, which is you can be what you want to be, but you're not going to become it in the way you most likely think you will, especially if your path is of a spiritual origin. And what do I mean by that? I mean that if you are following a path that's a little bit more intuitive than logical. If you're following an intuitive path, you're not going to get what you want in the way you thought you were going to get it, because you need to become someone different than you think you need to be, that you couldn't possibly know yet, because to know it would already be it. And that's important to understand. And I think as I've developed into that person, a lot of the sages make more sense. Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi, these types of people who just spent years and years cultivating this sense of self and awareness. And it just makes more sense. A lot of the miracles performed couldn't possibly be performed without the training, the practice, and the presence. And that takes time, the courage, the sense of self, all those things. And so, I don't know those people. I never met them. I read about them in books, so I don't know them. My intuition feels like I do. Closer to, I don't know, but closer. And what I said about the intuitive path just feels really, really keen. And I don't think that my smaller self could have fathomed what that meant. And I did not get a lot of reinforcement in that category. Spirituality was not something that was prevalent in my household. My dad was very private with it, and my mom was very low-key with it. So it wasn't there, which means the default's always going to be, okay, what's the logical path forward? So for me, I feel like, I like military. This is cool. I'll go this direction. Okay, I like sports. I really want to go in that direction. Okay, I love sports. I want to be a whatever. I want to go to the NFL. I want to do this. I want to do that. Versus, I really want to be a really good, helpful person. Okay, how do I help people the best? Well, you're a great communicator. You like to connect with people. You like to be in person. Okay, we'll get in person, connect with people. Okay, connect with person, connect with people. Okay, cool. Like, how can I help? Well, communicate with them, talk to them, learn about them. Okay, cool. Curiosity is important for me. Got it. Okay, cool. Fitness, training are important to me. Got it. Okay, cool. Reading, learning, expanding. Got it. Right? Like, I just see the path forward was so much more obvious, but it was so much more challenging because of the systems and the constructs that I was a part of did not open up doors for my unique creativity, and I don't think they do for most people. And I say this all just so I can, again, better understand myself and how I got here. Again, this place I feel like I'm living my dream. This is the dream for me. I woke up this morning. I was from 7 to 12:30 last night. I was with the men's group locally in South Florida under the beautiful stars, playing volleyball and having fun and talking and connecting. We had people from all over the world there to do it. I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. I had basketball practice for an hour at 7 to 8, and then I laid in the sun for 30 minutes, came home, went to get pão de queijo, Brazilian cheese bread with my girlfriend, came home, she made me breakfast, then we watched a YouTube video together, then I chilled and journaled a little, and now I'm here making this video. That's been my day. And not every day is like that. I have clients later, I have men's group later, I have other obligations that consume energy and take time. But the way in which I operate and flow through my life is all on me, and a life of my creation, and a life of the intuitive path. And it just feels phenomenal. And I couldn't have understood that, and I didn't need to, and now I am, and I'm here, and it feels really good. It feels connecting. It feels grounding. Most importantly, it feels present. I feel like my feet are in the dirt. I feel like a human being. I think that's the biggest one. I feel like a human. I really enjoy that. That's like the coolest experience, the coolest thing for me to say. So when I sit here today and I feel into myself, that younger journey, and again, I recommend just like writing out that question yourself, is like, how do I feel about my childhood dreams? Have I fulfilled them? Have I followed them? Are there parts of it that I'm seeing play out in my life now? Are there parts that I wish that I had that I'm not? It's your job to come up with the questions. Those are some examples, but it's your job to go deeper and better understand yourself. And there's no right or wrong with that. I think it's important to note there's no rightness when it comes to the inner work. There's just awareness. There's no rightness. There's just awareness. Awareness that I can then better see myself, better see people, better understand myself, better understand people, which makes it easier to be kind and compassionate and and simultaneously it makes it easier to take responsibility because I know who I am, where I am, and what I want, and where I need to go. I know there's certain things that need to change about me in order to do that, which means certain behaviors, certain habits must end, certain traits must be embraced, and so on and so forth. And so yeah, it feels great to even just share that. Man, this is so good. I love making these videos. It always opens me up in new ways, and it's again not about the content of the video. Most of you will never watch this whole video because you don't give a shit about most of the stuff I'm saying, which is understandable because it's my video. The purpose is for you to go make your videos, for you to go deeper with yourself. When this eventually comes out later this year, early next year, in like a new course material, it's your job to actually follow through with all the recording, all the videos, all the worksheets, all the things that need to be done. And it's your job to spend time connecting yourself with that younger kid, the dream, the vision, the whole nine. And I promise if you do that, you're going to live a more fulfilled and a more peaceful, present, and powerful life. And my prayer is that for all of you to get to experience the way that I feel, which is, I would say, a combination of joy and euphoria and peace. Joy at moment-to-moment freedom, euphoria at ecstasy of the moment, and peace at awareness of gratitude of all things. And that's how I feel. It's freaking amazing. So just want to thank myself for having those big visions, and there's still a part of me that feels connected to that like military warrior type, and I remember those videos so clear. Dun, 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 music. Dun, 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 just pushing myself, and I've been pushing myself, and I feel like that was what I was really trying to receive from that, is pushing myself with like-minded people. And what do I do for work? I push myself with like-minded people, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, relationally, you name it. And I do that with my coaching. I do it in the men's group. I do it on retreats. I do it in groups. I do it everywhere. So I'm living my dream. So shout out to my childhood self. It's so cool. It just came full circle. I'm actually doing the same things that they were doing in the video, just in a different context. Again, when one follows the spiritual path, one must release control of the mechanisms and the vehicles to the destination, because we could not possibly fathom a path more perfect than. And that's what I've continued to find over and over again. So with that said, wishing all of you an incredible day. Thank you for tuning in as always. I have some toys. I'm getting a Zelda Lego set for Christmas, but I have some cool stuff right here I'm playing with today. Got double wielding maracas, and life's good. So I just want to thank you all for tuning in as always. I really appreciate you following along. I really appreciate you giving me your time, your energy, your space, and I recommend to give yourself it now. Presence, peace, and power be with you. Legends find a way.